the first thing is you should rejoice. And that is the topic for today, interview skills. Now, I'd like to begin with something about myself. I've been a corporate trainer for around 5 years now, but I have a lot of experience when it comes to teaching. I hope you can see the slide. Just type in a yes in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can see the slides. So as I was saying, I have been teaching since I was 16. I started as a one-to-one trainer, and then I got my first job in a school. And then from there on, it's been in the education world for a very long time. I play multiple roles, that of a corporate trainer, online trainer, teacher trainer, and content developer. I've been with the British Council for 5 years. At present, I freelance for them and I have my own projects. So as you can see more details on the screen, I won't waste more time here and I'll move forward. So when it says answers to their questions related to interview skills, this means your questions I try and answer, which are related to interview skills. So why are interview skills important? Can you give me the answer on the chat board? You can just write in short words, short points. So Radha says that it makes us more confident, yes, if you focus on your interview skills. Just one request, people, please answer to everyone. So if you chat only with me, only I can see the answers. So where it says chat, you'll have an option to everyone or to Santosh. So go to everyone and write. Again, if you think of interviews in this light, that it's something very good about your CV that you've got to the interview stage, and it's a chance for you to develop your confidence further, your skills further, your interpersonal skills. Then you'll not get that nervous and you'll enjoy the interview process. I think if that nervousness goes away, you will be able to give your 100% to any interview. All right, so let's move on to a very important section, that's do's and don'ts for job interview. I'm sure you must already have some idea about do's and don'ts. We will recap it through the help of 2 videos. I'm going to play 2 videos and you need to watch the video and type in the chat pod what are the do's and don'ts. So I will not play the entire video because it's for 10 to 15 minutes. I'll just show the important parts.
Video, you will review some do's.
So you can see the interviewer here, and this is the candidate.
Competent professional during interviews.
You have to observe her and make a list of do's and don'ts. Hi there.
Morning, Mansi.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So, Mansi, do you have an updated copy of your CV?
Yes, I do. Here you go.
Mansi, I noticed in your CV that you have 1 year of gap in your study after 12th. Can you explain this gap?
Actually, I took a break for my personal reasons. After I cleared my 12th class board examination, I went to the US to attend my brother's wedding. While I was in US, I decided to extend my vacation. It was such a fun traveling around with my cousins and friends, you know. Because I was delayed in the US, I missed the university administration deadlines and was unable to take the other entrance exams also. I had no option but to sit out that year. I guess that's a fair and honest explanation of why out of accent that year.
Okay, that makes me curious. So, how did you become interested in software engineering?
I have a very strong foundation in maths and computer science is my favorite subject. I had earlier decided on applying for BSc, degree in computer science. Since I was late for the university administration that year, I didn't want to apply again the next year. Therefore, after I came back from the US, I decided to prepare for engineering entrance examinations. I didn't want to leave anything to chance this time, so I joined coaching classes and focused completely on my studies. And my hard work and persistence made off once I cleared the engineering entrance examination.
Good to know. So now that your placement season is on, tell me if you have attended any other company interviews.
Let me see. Oh, what's mine? Sorry. So where was I? Okay, here we go. I have attended only one interview with soft speak consultants until now. I'm yet to hear from them.
Great. Mansi, you mentioned.
Okay, can you make a list of the don'ts from this video and just type it in the chat pod? Whoever could hear it, that's also good, but even if you could see it, you can give inputs on the body language in the chat pod. Very good observation, Shubha. Shanta Hari. Yes, very good. Radha. Yes, so don't wear loud jewelry. Don't be too casual. Don't be over smart. Keep your phone on silent. Okay. Okay, great. Very good, Vats. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to move ahead and play the next video. Okay. This time you will have to find out what is the positive in this interview.
Now we interview Samira.
So you have Samira and an interviewer with her. Very good, Radha. A lot of observation. Okay, now let's watch the good part. What can you learn from this video?
For an entry-level position at InfoFuture. Throughout this video, you will review some tips and best practices to help you present yourself as a confident and competent professional during the interviews.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Samira. Please take your seat. How are you doing today? I'm doing very well. Okay. So how do you feel about so much activity on the campus these days? Oh, it's exciting times on campus. At this point, I'm experiencing a host of mixed feelings. I'm a little sad now that college life is at its end, but I'm also very eager to start on a new phase in my life with my career. Great. So Samira, to start off with this interview, can you speak something about yourself? Sure, ma'am. Currently, I'm in the final semester of my biomedical engineering course. During my school years, especially in class 12, I was equally fascinated by biology, physics, and maths. For a while, I thought of taking pre-medical entrance exams, but then I decided to pursue my career in a more modern and multidisciplinary subject. After many discussions with my teachers, counselors, and family, I chose biomedical engineering because it blends biological sciences, engineering, and medicine. I've also been a good student throughout my academic career. I got 86% in my class 10 exams and 88% in my class 12. I was awarded the National Talent Search Examination Scholarship in class 10. And I've also won other science talent competitions, ma'am. In case you want any specific information, I can give you more details about my academic achievements.
Well, thanks, Amira. This is a good detail of yours. Well, tell me something about yourself. I mean, apart from studies.
I'm involved with Healthy Smiles Foundation, a leading NGO as a volunteer. I've been working as a volunteer work on programs to improve the health and well-being of poor and underprivileged children in both urban slums and rural areas. So as a part of my volunteer work, I realized the importance of understanding the healthcare needs in India. And this has further convinced me about my choice of career.
Okay.
And in my free time, I'd like to curl up in a corner with a good book. I also play volleyball and basketball whenever I can round up some classmates and friends.
Okay. You mentioned reading as one of your passions. Which is the most recent book that you read?
I just finished reading Better by Atul Gawande. One of the senior team members at the NGO recommended the book to me. And the book talks about failure and how we can improve our performance. Now, although the focus is medicine, the examples that the writer has used have lessons for everyone in each profession.
Okay. Great. That sounds like an interesting book, Samira. So tell me, how many interviews have you attended so far?
This is my first interview, ma'am, and I hope to make a good impression.
Well, great. You mentioned optimism as a key strength. How has optimism helped you to solve situations?
Yes, I truly consider optimism as my key strength. I always see the brighter side of things and handle situations positively. One of the recent incidents where I think my optimism saved the situation was on a project. We were testing the prototype.
Okay, so most of you have got some points. So Shantari, you've been very active. That's really nice. Any other points that you'd like to make? Anyone else? So if you join me on my Facebook page, I have posted more links for interview skills. You can see videos and learn a lot from there. One of the links is here, and here is a list of the negative body language that you saw in the first video. So be careful with your bags, ladies. Put it on the side and ensure that there's no noise when you do that. Somebody has a lot of background noise.
There is a background noise which is disturbing us. So.
Shanta Hari, I'll be posting my Facebook page link in the end, and you can always find me on Jobs for Her link portal. So very good words, good gestures, hand stable, confident. So here is my list of don'ts from the first video. So always ensure that you have your CV in a folder and you can offer it to the interviewer. Now for the do's, here is another link which you'll find again on my Facebook page. And list of do's from the second video. So in case you missed it.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I think there is a background noise. I'm just going to mute you too for a minute and then just going to unmute.
Okay.
All right, just a second.
Sure. So ladies, be very well prepared with answers. We are going to look at the usual questions that are asked. I was talking to an industry expert yesterday and she said that one of the questions she asks is, why do you want to join our company? And till date, none of the candidates have been able to give a substantial answer for that. So do remember that prepare the questions and answers, and also prepare questions that you can ask in the end. So in this video, she does do that. She does ask questions. Now let's look at FAQs in job interviews. So usually you are asked questions based on the following points. Do you agree or disagree? Or do you want to add something else in the chat box? In my experience, these are the commonly asked FAQs. Okay, so let's move on and look at body language. So you saw two videos. Can you list out the positive and the negative examples of body language from the video? So body language is a very important aspect because it's non-verbal communication. Not only should you focus on your own body language, but also learn from and react to the interviewer's body language. That will tell you a lot about if the interviewer is interested in your answer, is interested in you, and if you should change your way of talking to him, or if he's listening to you, or if she's paying attention to you. So body language is essential in both the ways, your body language and the interviewer's body language. Please type in the chat box examples of very good user adjusting hair. So women, or I mean, I'm also guilty of it at times. You know, we tend to touch our hair and feel conscious because of that. So if that is the case, then please tie your hair and don't try a new hairstyle on your D-Day, on the important day, that's the interview day. Be comfortable and well dressed. And often when we are nervous, we tend to touch our body parts, our accessories, or just shake our legs, or, you know, try to cover our mouth. So be very conscious of that. And I would suggest do a mock interview, record yourself. See, are you doing something like that? Tanushree, we will be taking up questions. Just give me 2 minutes. Hold on to your question. The last half an hour of the session is just for Q&A, where all of you can ask me your questions. Yeah, too much smiling is also fake, Aparajita, that's good. Appropriate attire, I'll come back to that. Yes, user, voice modulation is very important. You should stress on important words and focus on the word called chunking. Again, if you come on my Facebook page, I will be pasting links on all these things. And secondly, you can always find me on Jobs for Her. I will be teaching these courses on Jobs for Her. So that's a very good question, Vats, and it links to another question which has been asked. I will come back to it, as I said. Okay, I hope you've had a chance to read this. So I'm going to move on to the next topic. Different types of interviews. Can anyone list the different types of interviews in the chat pod? I'll give you one hint. So this is what, if a face-to-face, what you saw in the video, that is a face-to-face interview. Can you think of any other type of interview? The world is changing really fast, and the way interviews are conducted has also changed quite a lot. Very good, Apurva. Telephonic. Deepa also has got it. Yes, Juhi. What else? Video call. Yes. So we have Skype interviews. Very good, HP. Priyadarshini, Satyama, Neetu, you've all got it. But what about panel? Okay, wow, Juhi, you got the panel one. So you should keep in mind that although all of them are interviews, you have to keep different things in mind. So if it is a Skype or a GoToMeeting or a Zoom interview, what do you think you need to keep in mind? Or what do you have to prepare for? Or what's the worst case scenario? So you have to take care of your technical requirements if it is something to do with an online video interview. Probably again hold a mock interview, see your recording, ensure that you have a clear official background, and you have good headsets and internet connection, have backup internet connection and headset. Very good, Priyadarshini. And always remember, voice modulation and body language is important on Skype, in panel interview and face-to-face. Similarly, body language and voice modulation. But you might think in telephonic interview, why should I bother about body language? Can anyone answer that? Nobody can see me. So why is body language important in telephonic interview round? Excellent, Deepa. So when you smile, somehow it actually reflects in your voice. I have done this myself. I have done this experiment and it actually works. So ensure that you smile and you feel confident when you're speaking, because it will come out in your voice. Always have dummy interviews. Yes, so ensure that you have no background noise if it's a telephonic or Skype interview, because the computer and your phone will catch even the slightest sound, as we can see now. Okay, so we are going to move ahead now. Time for your... So I'll begin with the question that was already asked me on dressing. Yes, Priyadarshini, if you dress formally, it will make you feel that you are going for an interview, and you will be mentally more prepared. Satyabhama, I'll just first answer the first question that was asked, dressing for interviews. So one thing is there, first find out what is the dress code that is followed in the company you're going to interview. So for example, if you're going to interview for a cabin crew position, then you have to see what kind of dress code is being followed there. And sometimes interviewers also specify what dress code they want to see you in. If nothing is clear and you can't get the answer, I would suggest just check with the person who's holding the interview. Check with the interviewer beforehand. Check with the interviewer beforehand. If he's expecting a certain kind of dress code, check out the company policy in terms of dress code. So for example, one place I worked in, they specified on wearing smart casuals. So smart casuals. So it's really important to do that. And one thing always remember is don't wear jeans, don't wear revealing short clothes, don't wear loud colors, don't wear big bold prints. Yes, it definitely depends on your body type also. If you are not comfortable with Western wear and you end up wearing that, you will be very uncomfortable during the interview. So also see your comfort level. And if you're still confused, ask for a second opinion from people around you. Click your picture, see how are you looking, and also look at the company website. That will give you a very good idea of what is expected out of the employee's dress code. Okay, let's move on to the second question. Somebody had asked me how to face HR interview. Satyabhama, can you be more specific in terms of what the problem is when you are facing HR interview round? And thirdly, somebody had asked me in the beginning about the gap year. Deepa, smart casuals means wearing a nice pair of trousers with a shirt, wearing knee-length skirt, a pencil skirt preferably with a shirt, or wearing a simple kurta with churidar, but no gold work and nothing fancy, nothing revealing. Indian attire can be safe, but then again, remember very minimal prints. Look at how air hostesses dress in saris. Basic colors, not bright, no big prints, and easy to handle. Sometimes you're rejected after HR rounds. It's very difficult to say why you were rejected. because there are a couple of reasons. First of all, they look at a lot of things. It's not just one aspect on salary negotiation. And you as a candidate definitely have the right to negotiate salary. So you have to just learn how to do that cleverly. Okay, so what questions you can ask the interviewer? You can ask the interviewer about their training programs, about their corporate social responsibility programs, CSR programs. You can ask them about what they are doing to maintain the environment. What are their carbon footprints? How are they planning to reduce that? Please stay clear about asking for holidays in the first go. What are your policies regarding yearly off or paid leave? So look at the website, Apurva, and see what projects they are working on, see what kind of training programs they have for employees, and pick up questions which sound intelligent and serious. Can I ask them about flexi timing options or work from home policy? Very good question, Jui. You definitely can ask, but don't go in the first round and ask that. In the first round, try and set your place. Try and understand expectations. Try and make a good impression. And if they come back to you in the second round, then go for flexi options or work from home policy. If you discuss that in the first round, that might go against you. Because remember, nowadays companies don't have just one round of interviews. So Shanta Hari, see, negotiation for salary is something which is a right of everybody's. Because even if you go to the market to shop for vegetables, there also you negotiate. Because and the seller will also negotiate. So everybody wants a good deal. Now you just have to be clever about how and when to negotiate. First of all, do not start discussion on salary in the first interview round. Secondly, wait for the interviewer to offer you a salary figure. Thirdly, before you go for the interview, find out from the market what salary is being offered at that position. And that will give you a good benchmark from where to take things. And fourthly, prepare this answer that why you deserve an X amount of salary, what are you bringing to the company. And lastly, remember your last salary that you got. Be ready with all the paperwork for that to show, yes, my last salary was this. And one more thing is you have to set your priorities straight, Shantahari. So you have to realize what is more important for you. Is it money, or is it just coming back to the workforce, or is it both? That when you prioritize, you will know exactly when to negotiate and till how much to negotiate. And one more thing I would like to add here is negotiation for money is not the only thing that you should look for. You can also look for perks and benefits, like, okay, fine, my salary is X amount. I might not get the X plus 10 that I'm looking for, but am I getting work from home option from here? Am I getting better training opportunities? Is this a better brand? Will I get more days off? Is it closer to my house? So there are many things you have to look at. It's just not salary. So before you negotiate and you do it in a hardcore way, keep all these things in mind. I definitely agree with you that employers do ask for relieving letters or salary slips, which you might not have. So one thing I did in one of the jobs is I showed them my account statement and I underlined where all that salary has been credited. So you don't have to show details of your account in terms of account number and all. You can blank that. You can cut it out and just show the salary that has been put into your account. Secondly, you can go back to your old employer and request for a relieving letter or some kind of salary slip. How do we find the salary levels in the company, HP asks. So, well, you have a website called Glassdoor. You can check that out. You can network, you can find people who are in the same industry. So your old colleagues, you can get back to your old colleagues and friends and ask them what is the current rate, or you can learn the hard way. The more you interview, the more people you meet in an interview, you will be able to find out what the salary is. So Deepa, salary is confidential, but unfortunately, HR definitely asks for your last CTC. I have always disclosed it and I've always been asked for it. So unfortunately, you will have to reveal it, because in India, at least, nobody is going to take a no for an answer. What's then? I would say then, just try and convince them, show them some proof that you were working in that organization. I don't know which sector you are in, so I would probably be able to help you better if you give me some background. Why did you mention, Tanuja, why do you think you mentioned I am on a career break? And that is why I am interested in this opportunity. So I was talking to another principal yesterday, and she said that women come to me and they tell me, I want to be a teacher because now I am married, or now I have children, or now I am on a career break. So that makes it sound very flimsy. Makes the candidate sound as if, she's applying for the job of teaching because it's convenient. It's not something which she is passionate about or she wants to do, but she sees it more of as a convenience. So Tanuja, you definitely have to work on this answer. What motivated you to apply for this job? Yes, when you took up this point, match to the job description, yes, it's very good. Think of more positives that match with your personality and what the company stands for. And look for ways that you can contribute positively, and that should convince your future employer. Deepa, I'm not clear what you're referring to in terms of particular range. So, Jui, scenario-based questions, again, can you be more elaborate there? I didn't get it. Anushri, go ahead, ask your questions. HP, I'm so sorry, I'm not from the finance background, so I will not be able to answer your question on salaries for managers in finance field. But always remember, there is a vast range between, salaries for any sector. So you have teachers working at the rate of 500 an hour, you have teachers working at the rate of 2,000 an hour. So it is what you give back is what is important. It is what you negotiate for, that is important. So for example, you find out a figure, let's say figure X. So try and quote a figure to the employer, prospective employer, which is slightly higher than X, so that if he negotiates, he'll come back to your acceptable X.
Hi Santosh, now can I ask a question? This is Anushri here.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, so Santosh, recently I have been to an interview. Unfortunately, I couldn't take the offer because the distance is 2 hours away from Bangalore.
I can't hear you. Your last, I understood till the point when you said recently you had an interview.
Yeah. And I just said that I couldn't take it because it was 2 hours away. The distance is 2 hours from Bangalore, the journey. That's why I couldn't take it. But I want to ask you one thing, that when I went, after 5 years sabbatical, I appear for an interview, and I have asked quite a question about their project, what project they are doing and all. I am a project management. So, what is your opinion that should I ask whatever is my curiosity about the project or about their activity, or no, I should restrict it?
Okay, couple of questions here, Tanushri. This is your first or second round of interview that you will go for. How many interview rounds have you had?
Before I had the telephonic and they have chosen me for that, and this was the face-to-face one.
Okay, so you're due for another round?
Yes, the negotiation round, but I think I cannot make it. As I said, the distance is very long.
So you've decided that you don't want to go for it?
Yeah, Shantosh, it is very far. It is 2 hours away from Bangalore.
Okay, there are two things you can do here now, Tanushri. First is just forget about it. As you said, why go on a way which you're not interested in? And the other way out is just go there for experience. Just go there to gain confidence about your interview skills, understand, and just get back to the market. So if the more number of people you meet, you negotiate, you'll find out your worth in the market, you'll find out what's happening, you'll network. So I'll give you an example to answer your question, Tanushri. Recently, I got a job offer from a very big college. So somehow I wasn't happy because again, the distance factor was the same story for me. 2 hours going to the college and 2 hours coming back. So I knew that I'm not going to take it, but at the same time, I wanted to see what is happening currently in Bangalore in terms of colleges, because I'm not from Bangalore, I'm from Delhi NCR. I just moved here last year. So as I said, I wanted to see the market, what it's about. I wanted to practice more of negotiation and interview skills. Thirdly, when I realized I cannot take up the offer, I said, okay, fine, but I would like to help you find the right candidate because I don't want to burn bridges. In today's world, networking is extremely important. You have to stay in the network, you have to help people, you have to build bridges. So that's what I did. I helped that gentleman put up his ad in a closed group of English teachers, which he never knew about. And I told him that, look, I've done this for you and let me know if I can help you in any way. I don't want money. I just want to, help out people and network. So there are two ways you can go about it then, Tanushri. Have I answered your question?
Yes, right. And one more thing I want to ask, because see, I have a kid, and in my interview sessions, I'm mentioning that I have to I like to wrap up my work by 6 or 6:30 because she is also coming back by that time, and I also want to wrap up by then. So, is that okay to say it?
Okay, again, it depends. You have to be A, very sure that they want you. And B, you have to make them sure that if you are wrapping up by 6, it will no way affect your work. You will, you find out the number of hours that you need to work. So you tell them, I will finish these required number of hours. You will not find any, problem with my work. Give me this opportunity, take it as a trial period, and keep your communication very clear with them in terms of throughout that work life that you have over there. So they should never doubt your capacity, your passion, your dedication to work. And if you say it cleverly, you say it in a way that, I have priorities and I like to manage my time, and I am good at organizing things and managing time. I would like to finish my work and get back home by this time, but that doesn't mean that I'll compromise on my work. But don't say it in the first round. Wait for them to want you so that they listen to your terms and conditions. Have I answered your question?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. So, HP, should we accept offers below our earlier drawn salaries? So that is again one problem I faced recently. So I had a very good salary package when I was in Delhi, and unfortunately, no one in Bangalore has been able to match it. I've been faced with the same dilemma. The reason I didn't step down is if I go for a salary which is below my last CTC, it is going to bring down my CV. Then that means I'll have to again walk the same path to come back to my old point. I mean, come back to my old salary. So that means X amount, number of hours, years to work again for the same thing. However, at the same time, you have to realize that you cannot have a gap year. You cannot just sit. So ensure that you, even if you are not getting a job, you do some volunteer work, you do some upskilling, you do an online course, you study, you do freelance work. All this counts when you are trying to account for your gap year. So again, it's your decision, HP, if you want to back down and go on a lower score, go on a lower number in terms of your salary. I've not done it because of these reasons.
Hi Santosh, this is Gayatri here, and thank you so much for taking up the questions by yourself, because I had this technical issue and trying to solve that out. So we have another 5 minutes. There's a question from Vats, who says that my gap is about 14 years and I can't go back for bank statements or relieving letter any other way.
Then I think you should just tell the employer about your dilemma. Tell him that this is the situation. Is there anything else? Probably you can also get maybe one of your last managers to give you a testimonial, or agree to give a recommendation for you. Maybe an old client. You can get an old client to send an email on your behalf, or maybe you can talk about the projects you've done during that time and convince the person. I'm afraid these are all the options that I've had, and if I get to know more options, I'll try and get back to you with the answer to that.
All right. Okay, the next one is from Jui, who says, in a scenario-based questions, if you have, no, okay, I'm sorry, I think you already read that out, right? Well, she says another thing, she needs an example.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute, I will read that out. Okay, she wants an example for, tell me about a time when you have suggested a out-of-box solution to a problem at hand.
So I'll be honest here, nobody has ever asked me that. People have asked me about challenges that I have had faced, and I've been able to answer that. Out of box, again, it depends on what field you are in. So before you answer, if such a question comes up, you don't know the answer to, it's a tricky question, I would suggest take 30 seconds, take a minute, ask for that time from the employer, from the interviewer, to think about your answer. There is no hurry. You are not expected to be a machine and answer immediately. You can think about it. So if supposing you ask me for an out-of-box solution to a problem related to, let's say, what we were facing today, like with this, the audio problem with the meeting. So I would just think about it, okay, 30 seconds, 1 minute, as to what possible solutions can there be, and then see if those solutions work. Think about what possible gaps can come up or problems can come up, and be prepared with your answer and substantiate or give examples to support your argument.
Okay, and Kumkum says that should we reveal if we have other offers in hand? A lot of people use it for negotiation.
Again, Kumkum, this is a double-edged sword. If you reveal the other person's other offers that you have, the interviewer might think that you are being pricey, you are being over smart. If I were you, I would just hint at it that I am considering several offers. But just go for it if it's the truth, because it might just come back to haunt you. What if you didn't have offers and you lose out on this one? What if they come to know who's giving you an offer? And what if they see that, okay, this person is kind of, trying to blackmail us into, going for her negotiation tactic. So if I were you, I would not reveal the name of the other offers. If at all, I would just say that I do have other offers to consider. So please let me know as soon as possible what is your decision.
Okay, and there's another person asking, is it okay to mention about the career break during the interview? Will that give a negative impact?
So that is a very good question that I would like to address. I would suggest that be very clear and don't feel nervous because you took a career break. Remember, everybody has priorities at certain stages in their life, and you have to do justice to it. And so, for example, tell them why you want to work again. Yes, I was on a career break because I had certain priorities. Or think of a reason like, it took some time to figure out the job market. A lot has changed since then. I took a break, but now I want to get back and I want to give back, or I can now positively contribute to this job, to your company. Don't get nervous about your career break. You are not the first person who's taken it. The minute you get nervous about explaining, you look guilty about your career break, your employer is going to exploit it. Just say, yes, I was on a career break and this is what I learned through that career break. If you've taken a career break because of motherhood or because of marriage, you can focus on things like, I have worked on my time management and organizational skills throughout these years, or I have done this course online, or I have volunteered. So this has made me more patient. And now I've made arrangements. I don't need to do that, or there are people who are there to help me, and I would like to get back to work. Have I answered your question?
Okay, another question from Nandita, who says that I am from Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, if there's anybody laid out, an interviewer asked the reason why you left the previous company. What reply for this type of situation?
Okay, I'll just remind you of this thing. It is like, you can talk about location, that the last company had a problem. I mean, I had to leave because of the distance factor, or advancement. I wanted to study further, or I wanted a more challenging role, something with more responsibilities, and that's why I left my last job. Never badmouth your last employer. So this link I have put on my FB page, where the interviewee just does that. He badmouths his previous employer. Because if you do that, okay, this employer was not good, or there were a lot of problems in the company, I didn't like working there, then what's going to happen is, these people will think that if you can badmouth the previous employer, you can also badmouth your future employer. So that will work against you. So focus on positive, focus on constructive points, why you left. Every time I have left, so last time when I left my job, I said, okay, I'm getting married and I'm moving town. I'm moving to a new town. The job before that, contract got over. The job before that, study leave.
Okay, Santosh, just before you go ahead, let me just tell you that we are at the end of the session, so we can take one last question.
Okay.
And if there are any questions which are not answered, I will collate it and I'll send it over to you, and you can
Okay.
me on that email. All right?
Okay. And here is my Facebook page, LinkedIn page. You can always ask your questions on my Facebook page. Thank you so much, all. I loved meeting all of you.
Thank you so much, Santosh. It was a valuable webinar. I'm sure ladies who are going to attend interviews after career break are going to implement all the points that you've told. And I'm sure that that's going to make them gain more confidence, and they know what to do and what not to do during the interview. And thank you, everyone.
I really hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thank you all.